Hey there, TTRPG lovers. I am so excited to flip through Drakonym today from Cross Paths RPG, the makers of the incredibly cute Bramble Trek. Before we jump in, my name is Jess, and again, I am so excited to do this flip through today. Drakonym is a new fantasy TTRPG where heroes forge sacred bonds with dragons, where together they confront the mysterious forces of shadow and flame. I'm getting hints of Eragon in a Lord of the Rings world, and I'm so here for it. With a dragon bond system, fully customizable magic, and a system meant for storytelling, I bet you're already wanting to soar with your dragon, but first you're gonna have to check out the game on BackerKit, which launched today, but more on that later. Because now I want to talk about the cover. The cover is absolutely stunning and reminds me a little bit of an incredibly wonderful actual play called Castleton at the very end of the season. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you should watch it. I'm also getting Game of Thrones and Protecting Your Keep vibes. I love it. I honestly love it a lot. It feels like you can go a million different directions with this style of play, whether it's How to Train Your Dragons, a game hellbent on war, or something in between. Really, it's up to you. The Crosspath team really wants to make sure that you're fully set up to reach your full potential in this game, with instructions on playing the game, crafting your rider, outfitting your rider with gear, becoming battle ready with spells and more, learning the legacy of dragons in the world of Akaroth. Creating your character is pretty straightforward. You'll choose your kin, which determines what you look like. Then you'll distribute stat points, which include body, which is the domain of strength, endurance, and melee combat. The gods, which is the domain of prayer, divine language, and lore. Soul, which is insight, performance, and hope. Shadow, which is the domain of speed, reflexes, and stealth. Mind, which is the domain of analysis, deduction, study, recall, and magic. And finally, world, which is the domain of wilderness, beast handling, and instinct. You'll then choose your class from 4 different class types, and at level 3 you'll choose one of 20 different paths. The pairing of class and path will be your vocation. Then you'll pick your background, which grows as you advance throughout your journey, and finally you'll pick your gear. You can either pick a primary weapon, secondary item, armor, and a tool, or you can pick from a list of preset kits. We'll spend some more time on this later when we get to the crafting your rider section. Every other time you level up, you'll gain an attribute point, and at every level up, you'll gain a background point to spend on background trees or even to open up a new one. You'll also get more mana or more grit depending on which class you take as you level up. To play Drakonym, you'll need 66 and a d12. There's a handy results and outcomes table that talks about successes, failures, successes with complications, and critical successes for easy, medium, and hard difficulty checks. 5s and 6 count as successes in Drakonym, so be sure to play with dice that you haven't recently put in dice jail. Your d12 comes into play as your shadow die, which is a gambling die for when you fail a narrative check. Generally, the shadow die can't be used to push rolls such as attacking, defending, or spellcasting. Each time your table rolls a shadow die, your herald, aka your game master, gets a shadow mark, which they can use to create complications, a little chaos, or enhance combat away from your favor. Now it's time to actually craft your character, and I'm going to make my character that I'm going to be playing on Wednesday, August 13th. It's going to be a charity stream supporting ACLU and starts on this channel actually at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. I hope you're there. It's going to be a sneak peek into the world of Drakonym, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So this was going to be a really hard decision for me until I got to the Inferni. There are some super cute kin like the Gnawborn, which look like humanoid rodents, Featherborn, which look like bird persons, Arbor, which look like satyrs, and 9 other kin to choose from. But I love playing a bisexual devil person, and so we're gonna have to go with the Inferni. The Inferni value boldness and ambition, and their subkin include Frostbound, who have physically pale blue or white skin, Emberblood, who are typically red or orange, or Ashenborn, who have gray or dark black skin. And I think I'm gonna go with the Frostbound. My size is medium, and I can walk 6 squares or fly 5 squares on my turn. My talents are cold resistance, infernal sight, aka I have dark vision. Just so everybody knows at the table, I have dark vision, and demonic wings. And I think I'm gonna name them Solario, and I'm gonna go with Rio for short. And don't you worry, I'm definitely going to get on a Hero Forge immediately. Now that I have my kin picked, it's time to choose a class. There are 4 to choose from: Fighter, Veil, Mage, and Acolyte. And with the paths broken down between them, I think for Rio, I'm gonna go with Fighter, which on the difficulty scale of 1 to 5 is the easiest class, and y'all, I'm not mad about that. There's a quick build that you can utilize for all of the different classes, or you can create your own unique fighter by starting with 6 grit and gaining grit in combat when you down an enemy in a single turn. You also have the Unbroken ability where once per round when you successfully complete a combat action, you can begin an unbroken sequence, which can gain you a bonus action. You also have Poised Advanced, the parry action, and Sweeping Strike. I don't think that I'm going to make it up to level 10 in this one shot, but as you gain experience, your class improves as well. Now it's time to pick one of 8 backgrounds: Artisan, Charlatan, Investigator, Noble, Outcast, Scholar, Veteran, and Wanderer. And I think for Rio, I'm leaning towards Wanderer, just your average do-gooder who wanders from place to place looking for people to rescue and adventure to be had. As for what motivates them, it's definitely money and probably the hot babes, let's be real. Their greatest strength is their resourcefulness. They can do a lot with the little that they have, and I think that their greatest flaw is rushing into things without having a backup plan. And I think that their goals actually reflect that, not really having a 5-year plan or any plan at all. In fact, I think I'm going to have to wait until I've had my session 0 because their goal is probably going to be tied into the primer of the adventure. And finally, I think it makes the most sense to have Rio from Airstone, which is the Frozen Exile. Coming down to the Wanderer background, I'll start with the Trailblazer perk, meaning I'm a Pathfinder who gains Bless when trekking across or navigating through the lands, as well as Forager, where I can spend hero points to locate food, water, or herbs regardless of the terrain I'm in. Then I'll have the Explorer, Nature, or Survivor paths that I can choose from. Each has 8 perks to pick from, and I think that my favorite is Inquisitive in the Explorer list, where you can add 1d6 to checks made to spot hazards, paths, or vantage points in new or unfamiliar terrain. Next, you'll pick weapons, primary and secondary, armor, and other personal items like potions, tools, trinkets, kits, and more. If you need something that you think your character would have and it makes sense for them to have, you can make a preparedness check, where a 5 or a 6 is a success and a failure introduces complications. There are 6 different types of magic, which is Arcanum, Divinity, Inherit, Radiant, Untamed, and Voidcraft, which, let's be honest, is my favorite. It unravels reality, spreads corruption, and wields chaos itself. Speaking of chaos, I think for Rio's path, they're going to be a berserker when they advance to level 3 and need to narrow it down from being just a fighter to something a little bit more specific. Berserkers get quite a handful of nice perks, like increase to grit to 10, gaining Blood Engine where your body converts pain to power, recklessness, adrenaline surges, and furious slams. There's more perks at level 4, 7, and 9, not to mention the level ups that happens for fighters in general between as well. Everyone levels up the same way, with the classes having perks at level 1, 2, 5, and 8, and the paths having perks at 3, 4, 6, 7, and 9. There's an incredible list of weapons, armor, magic, and items to choose from, like the Shield of Prismatic Reflection, a radiant shield that splits light into dancing color. But I think my favorite section is the one where it talks about the legacy of dragons, including their history, how to train them, dragon families, draconic hearts, the Great Vow, and mounting your dragon to soar through the skies. There are 7 dragon families, including Astral, Aura, Mirror, Moon, Pyre, Shard, and Sun, and then my favorite, which are the storm dragons. I mean, honestly, look at them. To create your dragon, you'll answer questions to make its trait construction, like does your dragon wield speed or lightning? What makes your dragon's form stormborn? And what is the cost of its power? So I think my dragon's going to be named Irelia, who can flap their wings in a way to create like a gravitational pull to bring their enemies or prey closer to them, similar to a tornado. And I think that this can only be used once until the dragon is able to rest for a short while. You'll also answer evolution options, emotional roles, bond questions, names of lineage, and expanded traits. And then finally, there's the world of Akaroth itself, including its history, timeline, planes, major and minor gods, plus a map and regions of Akaroth. Friends, Drakonym has so much going on, and I've just showed you the core rulebook. There's also the Herald's Guide, this character sheet, a starter adventure, a solo rulebook, and so much more for you to peruse. The team has put so much love and care into this game, and honestly, I am so thrilled that I got a sneak peek before it officially launched. I think this game can fulfill a whole bunch of different game types for all sorts of people. Thrill seekers, those wanting adventure, those wanting to focus on the relationship between dragon and rider. It's so versatile and it has so many structured ways for you to enjoy the game while also letting you completely customize your experience throughout your journey. Not to mention the stunning art shown throughout the books, including all of the full page art to help bring all of your ideas to life. And might I add, it's all human made. No AI was used. Be sure to visit the Drakonym backer kit to check it out and get your hands on a PDF or print copy starting today until August 25th. At the time of this recording, 4 pre-launch stretch goals were already unlocked, including a character creator video, which you can see on YouTube, animated wallpaper, Alchemy VTT support, as well as Foundry, Owlbear Rodeo, and Roll20. If you want a sneak peek of a Drakonym adventure before you back the game on backer kit, be sure to come back to this channel on August 13th to see an incredible crew of dragon riders explore the world of Akaroth and raise funds for ACLU. But until then, let me know in the comments what kind of dragon you're going to be riding when you play Drakonym. Thanks for watching, y'all, and don't forget, make friends, wash hands, don't eat paste.